Welcome back to my channel. It's Mariah. Why does my voice sound like this right now? It sounds kind of weird. I think I need more coffee. Anyways, today I'm going to be doing another first impression on a new product NARS came out with. So anyways, I picked up the NARS Sculpting Multiple Duo. For some reason, the third shade, I don't remember what it was. It's like the lightest shade. Okay, so first things first, the Sculpting Duos, or the Sculpting Stick Duos, is $39. There are 3 shades, and it's from NARS. What else do I have to say about that? I'm gonna just read up about the duos. Okay, so what it is, it's a portable dual-ended stick that contours, highlights, and provides luminous color to cheek, lips, and eyes. This versatile sculpting multiple duo has everything you need to brighten up your features. A shade on one end contours while the other highlights. The darker shade creates definition, contouring to enhance the face's natural features. The lighter shade provides sheer color that illuminates the high points of the face. Okay, so there are 3 shades. There is Copacabana and Sidari Beach, Hot Sand and Laguna, and Flamenco and Oahu. I had to get Oahu, even though I know it's probably going to be a little bit too dark for me because I live in Hawaii and Oahu is an island in the state of Hawaii, so I had to get that. Yeah, I had to get it. Anyways, it's pretty obvious. I have my brows done, my eyes done, my eyelashes on, and foundation on. I'm gonna just show you what I have on right now, and maybe I'll insert a picture of the lightest shade, Copacabana and Sidari Beach, because it wasn't in my box, so I need it. But I know that I can work without it for now. I just want to really get this video up, so yeah. So this is how the packaging looks like. It actually looks really nice and sleek, as do all NARS's packaging looks. They always look super nice and super sleek. And the shade I'm showing you right now is Oahu and Playa Flamenco. Okay, so the shade that I'm showing you right now is Oahu and Flamenco. Obviously the darker side is Oahu and the lightest side is Flamenco. And on this one, the darker side is obviously Laguna, the ultimate holy grail bronzer, and the other side is Hot Sand. And I'm going to go in with Oahu because I noticed that Oahu and Laguna, they're not that far apart in shade. Just Oahu has a little bit less shimmer than Laguna has. So I'm not gonna go in flat like this with the rounded part. I'm gonna take it on its side, like on the edge of it. So I'm not gonna take it above the ear, and I'm not gonna take it below the center of my ear. I'm gonna simply take it where the hollow is, and it's usually right below the top of your ear, or like where your ear starts to connect to your head, like the top part of it. So I'm just gonna take the contour in there. So I'm not gonna go past half of the cheek. I don't want to go too far out because then we can always blend it out and add more. So I'm just gonna take it and go really, that's all I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna go in. I've been using the oval brushes, and I'm not using any of the expensive brand. This is just a oval, like a cheapy oval brush that I got off of Amazon, and this is the Sand Can brand. There are a whole bunch of brands that you can use, but this is the one I have. So yeah, so whenever I blend, I'm gonna blend side to side, and then once it looks like it's nicely blended out, I'm gonna drag it downwards. And you can see that a lot of the product went a long way, especially when you use an oval brush like this. And then I brush upward. I'm always pushing upward. I'm not rubbing up and down in like this kind of motion. I'm going like this. I'm picking up my brush. So not sure if you can see what I'm actually doing on my face, but I am not rubbing up and down like this. I'm bringing the product upward, just like this. So I'm brushing, lifting up, brush, lifting up, brush, up. So I'm just keeping brushing upward. I'm not brushing up and down forcefully like that. So what you don't want to do, you don't want to brush the contour downwards because you're going to give yourself a 5 o'clock shadow, and that's what you do not want. You don't want to give yourself a 5 o'clock shadow. Okay. I'm going to start buffing the contour shade upward towards my temple area. And if you need to add more product, you can always go in and add more. But remember, less is more, so just keep building up if you want to. But once you go in with like a harsh streak, there's no going back. Just saying. So now I'm gonna take it onto my forehead, and when it comes to hair goes downward. What is wrong with you? Okay, so now I'm gonna take it on my forehead, and what I like to do, I used to go like this and make lines going upward, like stitching. But today I feel like this thing is so pigmented. I'm just going to do a light swoop, like right there. Can you see that? And I'm just going to blend it out. And this time I'm not gonna bring it forward towards my forehead. I'm going to bring it upward. So I'm going to buff and buff and buff, and once I can see that the line is blended out, I'm going to push it upward towards my hairline so that it kind of looks seamless and it doesn't look like, yeah, you want it to look as seamless and try to make it look like a natural contour, you know what I mean, jelly bean, but you know, it's not natural at all. And you can see that it's pretty defined, but I want to define it just a tad bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more product. That looks like a lot more product. Keep in mind that everyone contours differently. So just because I'm doing it this way doesn't mean that everyone else that you probably watch on YouTube is wrong. It's just that we all have our own preferences in doing things, because sometimes it works better certain ways for other people than it does for another person, you know what I mean? So that is the contour of my forehead. You can kind of see that there, I don't know, on camera it's showing that there looks like you can tell the difference between the contour and the highlight. And if you are really self-conscious about that, you can go ahead and just buff and blend that out. But in person it doesn't look like that. It just looks like a nice gradient. But now I'm gonna go ahead and contour the jawline right here. So now all I'm gonna do, I like to actually go right by my ear area as well. So I like to do one swipe right there by the ear area. Not sure if you can really see that. I'm gonna shift myself right now. Okay, let me zoom you in as well. So I have one line right there. I just like to kind of contour this area as well. And when it comes to contouring, it totally depends on your head shape, because everyone's head is shaped differently. My head is more round, so I like to chisel out or carve out my jawline because I want it to look like, you know, but that's not, I don't do this on the daily, believe me. Now I'm gonna go on the jawline, and some people like to go under the jawline, and that totally depends again on your face shape. But for me, I like to go right on the jawline right there. And whenever I buff, I don't buff upward. This time I'm not buffing upward when it comes to the jawline. I'm gonna buff downward. So I'm just gonna lightly go from side to side. And once I can see that everything looks like it's almost buffed out, I'm going to push the product downwards. So now you can see a major difference between this side. It looks a little bit more carved out, a little bit more slimmer than this side. This side still looks rounded out. So that's why people contour the jawline, because it makes the face, the bottom part of the face, especially for those with round heads, it makes it look a little bit more slimmer, a little bit, you know, I don't know. But you might know. Okay. so the last thing about contouring is the nose area. At least I always do my nose last. I'm going to take a very, very small amount of the product because this is creamy. It totally depends also on the type of contouring product you're using, bronzer, whatever you're using. The more pigmented it is, the smaller amount you want to use at a time. So I'm going to just go in and make a small little line here. The tiniest line, like you can't even see it on camera, but it's like the tiniest line ever. And everyone's preference on what kind of brush to use is different. I like to use this kind of brush. It's a synthetic haired brush, but it is flat and really tapered and slim, but it's going to help us get a more precise application when it comes to buffing out the product. Okay, so I just zoomed you in. Now you can kind of see the line. There is a very small amount there because you can always add more. Now with the brush, I'm going to buff it out up and down. And I'm not going to push the product in towards the center of my nose. I'm just going to push it downwards. And depending on how far in you bring the contour, or like you bring the product, depends on how slim you want your nose to look. I just want it to look a little bit more carved out than, or I just want it to look a little bit more straight. I mean, like my nose is straight already. I just want my face to look more put together, only because I have a contour here, I have a contour here, and I have a contour on my forehead. And I think when you contour the nose, everything is just going to look a little bit more put together. So that's why I'm doing it. And again, I don't do this on a daily. Whenever I do my tutorials though, I pretty much contour all the time, or bronze, and then I contour my nose. So after everything is buffed out, you can still see that there is a line right here. Now I'm going to really push the product downward and give it a more gradient effect, but I don't want to pull it in towards this area here and under my eye. I just want to make it look like a gradient, see? Just like that. And then right at the tip here, I'm just going to bring it down here where the V is. Just right there. And I feel like that's a lot of product. And I'm just going to buff up and down. And then push it towards the nostril. Do your best not to poke your brush into your nose. That is gross. Okay, so that is the contour of the nose. You can tell kind of a big difference between both sides. One side looks a little bit more defined than the other. I know the shadows right now isn't doing everything justice and kind of making both sides of my nose look the same, but you know, you can kind of tell a little bit more when you're looking at yourself live in person. Okay, so please don't mind my hair right now. It is getting pretty warm, so I had to put it up. But there you can see a difference between both sides of the face. This side is not as defined as this side. I do have highlighting powder right under my eyes, just like I said that I did earlier. So it kind of makes it looks like my cheekbones are already popping out. But if you can see, it just looks like a flush of white here, and then it goes down into my regular skin tone. But right here you can really see a definition, and it's just a little bit more defined. You can see that I have a nice cheekbone on this side, while this side is just like cheekbone, and then it looks like my face is actually sagging because there is no, it's like there's no shadow here that makes it look like my cheek is sculpted. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense to me, and it's coming out of my mouth, so yeah. And then right here at the jawline, you can see that one side looks a little bit more rounder than the other side. This side looks a little bit more defined, it looks a little bit more sculpted, and it just looks like, I do have a round head, so that's why I like to contour certain areas in certain ways. So if you have a nice oval head, you don't really have to contour it too much. All you do is just contour the forehead. You don't have to worry about your chin area, you know. So everyone that has oval heads, you guys are truly blessed. Someone told me I had an oval head, but when I look at myself, I'm like, my head is round, dude. My head is round. Okay, contour that chin for me, please. Show me how to do it. So they showed me how, I learned, and now Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead, finish up this side of the face, and I'll be right back when I'm done. And I'm also gonna put on some lipstick and blush because I kind of need like a pop color somewhere, you know? So, okay, besides the hair, I feel like super glam right now. So I'm just, baking right here under the contour line because I just wanted to look a little bit more sharper and a little bit more cleaner. So I actually took my beauty blender, I took the butt end of the beauty blender and I ran it right in this area here, like where the contour meets the center of my forehead, and you can see how much more seamless and flawless it looks. Yes? Okay. I'm almost done with everything on my face. Now I'm just gonna decide which highlight I want to use because they both look so pretty. Hot Sand is just like a nice peachy, it's like peachy pinky, but it has like silverish, it looks a little bit more silverish, while Playa Flamenco is goldy, like it's a little bit more golden. It has some flecks of maybe silverish, goldish shimmer in it, but that one is a little bit more on the golden side. My eyeshadow, like towards the center of my eye, is a little bit more whiter and it has a little bit more silver glitter, or not glitter, silver shimmer in it. I'm gonna go ahead and just apply Hot Sand because the gold one looks a little bit too gold for the purposes of what my face looks like right now. And I think it's a little bit best applied if you use your finger actually to go and put it on the high tops of the cheeks. You can possibly go in and swipe it right on, but I don't want any more product. Like I don't want a lot of product to end up moving, like whatever I have on my face already. Like, yeah. So I'm just going to pick up some of the product. That actually looks really pretty. Can you see that? Okay, so my first thoughts about it. The product is actually really good. I really enjoy playing with it. It comes in 0.24 ounces, pretty much a quarter of an ounce total in product. So it's about 12 ounces for the highlight side and then 12 ounces for the sculpting side. And it's only available to VIB and VIB Rouge only for now. I came across it when I was searching VIB Rouge perks, and that's when or not perks, but like exclusives, and that's when I found it. At least for now. Later on, it's probably gonna come into store. Unfortunately, it is $39, like I said, and that is big bucks for only 25 ounces. Not even 25 ounces of product. So that's one of the big downfalls. That's what I don't like about it. It is creamy, but it sets to a powder finish. So I really do love the product. I think I would end up repurchasing it again. I would only pick up Oahu and Playa Flamenco because, yeah, I only like matte bronzers or like bronzers that don't have too much shimmer in them. I'm just not a big fan of that. Not sure why. Anyways, since this is available VIB and VIB Rouge only, if you are not already at VIB Rouge, VIB, or you don't even shop at Sephora, go ahead, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment down below what your favorite movie is right now, and you can be entered to win all 3 of the shades of the NARS Sculpting Duo. And then I'm just going to take all the names and plug it into a random generator, and then I'm going to let you know the winner a week from when this video is live. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and here is something special for you people who are so awesome. So anyways, I love you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.